Alright everyone, how are you all doing? Welcome along back to a brand new video, and today we are in the Cairngorms, high up in the Cairngorms, climbing our way through stuff like this because we're off to go and see a reindeer. But more importantly, we've obviously got a topic for this video, and oh, look at this by the way. Oof. Oh my goodness me. The topic of the video is 3 animals that you will not see anywhere else in the world except for here in the UK. And we've got some really cool animals in this country that I'll tell you about later on in this video. But right now, we're about to head up the Cairngorm and see some reindeer and feed them. Reindeer. So how nice is that, right? You get to hand feed reindeer. It's really weird. Their like lips feel like it's just pure velvet, so it's so soft, and they haven't got a top set of teeth, so it's like bone, little teeth at the bottom, and it's just, you're in no like danger of being bitten or anything like that. So it's really cool. It's really cute. I really like them. Cool, isn't it? So this is one of the animals that we actually have, which you won't be able to see anywhere else in the UK. But the animals that I'm going to talk to you about are animals that you won't be able to see anywhere else in the world. So I think while I'm here with these reindeer on the hill of the Cairngorms, looking absolutely fantastic and there's no wind, I'm going to talk to you about number 1 on this list, and that is going to be the Scottish red deer. Now, Scottish red deer, like the reindeer, are mainly found in Scotland. There's a rough population size of about 300,000 to 400,000 of them just in here alone. Now, the Scottish red deer is a subspecies of the western red deer, which you can find around Europe, but the Scottish red deer shows a little bit of insular dwarfism. It's a little bit smaller than the western red deer, which basically means if you've ever had a goldfish in a little goldfish bowl and then moved it to a giant tank, you'll notice that the goldfish will get loads bigger with loads more room. Over here in the UK, there isn't that much room, so these Scottish red deer are a little bit smaller than the western red deer that can roam around Europe. Did you know that, mate? Did you know that? Now, there are a few other ways to differ a Scottish red deer between a red deer, and it's usually by how they look. Hello, son. Hello, it's giving me a sniff. As I was saying before I got barged by this rowdy guy, Scottish red deer do look a little bit different to the western red deer. Now, the looks of them are quite subtle, so it could be very easy to mistake a Scottish red deer to a western red deer. Look at this one here. Look at this one. Now, you may have noticed in a few videos gone by we were at Richmond Park. Now, Richmond Park has a lot of red deer, and they are the western red deer. They are the big ones, but you can actually find some Scottish red deer dotted around England as well. Usually you will find them in the Highlands of Scotland, wild and free, but there can be some pockets of populations down in England. Also as well though, the Scottish red deer can be a bit of a problem because they increase their population so much. I think in the last like 50 years or something, they doubled their population, which is pretty mad. Different to this population though, because these only ever stay at 150. And coincidentally, these guys will actually meet the Scottish red deer up on the Cairngorm hills, just behind me. There's a plateau, but they don't care that each other exist. There's no fights, nothing. They just get on with their business. Do you like the reindeer? I like the reindeer. Now, it's a separate topic, but I think the population doubling does sort of cry out for an apex predator, but that's another video for another day. Maybe we need some wolves back. Not sure these guys would like that though. Hello, son. Look at you. Fabulous. It's really sad because I want to stroke these guys, but you're not allowed because, well, they don't like it, and well, it seems like a threat to them. They sort of, you know, like with your cat and your dog, they love it, right? They love being petted. Well, reindeer don't. Yeah, these guys actually hate it, and they see it as like a, why are you trying to fight me sort of thing, which is really sad because they're really soft.
Come to the white one with me.
Is it cute?
He's really cute.
He is, isn't he? Look at this, by the way. What an absolutely perfect day. There's like no wind, and we're about 700 meters, 800 meters above sea level. There's just nothing, and it's perfect. The temperature's about, I mean, 8 degrees, but you wouldn't even know because the sun's beaming down on you and it's boiling, really. I'm too hot. this general vicinity around here with all the pine forests, you could, if you were very lucky, see the next animal on this list, and that is going to be the Scottish wildcat. Now, it's thought in Scotland there is only about 30 to 50 Scottish wildcats living wild and free, which is really quite a shame, because once upon a time they actually used to inhabit all of Great Britain. But as time went on and as they were persecuted more and more, their population dwindled and their range dwindled as well. They used to be seen in the south of England, but recently, over time, that's gone north, 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 right up to here in the Cairngorms, and this is really the only place where you might be lucky enough to see some. Now, the Scottish wildcat is another subspecies, but this time it's a subspecies of the European wildcat. The main difference between the Scottish wildcat and the European wildcat is the markings on their fur. It's a little bit darker. Now, about 7,000 to 9,000 years ago, the Scottish wildcat became isolated over on Great Britain from the rest of continental Europe. Now, after much debate in the 1940s about the Scottish wildcat and was it really its own different thing, was it really its own separate subspecies, finally it was given the name Silvestris grampia, after where you can find it, which is like the Grampian Mountains. But maybe a little bit of good news, there are captive breeding programs trying to restore this population of the Scottish wildcat, but a problem they've got is the Scottish wildcat, it hybridizes with domestic cats, and that's a real big problem because it's losing its lineage through just normal cats, and that's rubbish, isn't it? But places like the Highland Wildlife Park, which is sort of over that way and a few miles away, they've had quite a few kittens born in recent years, and hopefully that population in the captive world increases enough that they can be re-released out into the wild of the Cairngorms and further afield Scotland. Look at you too. Oh, they're so beautiful. Oh yeah, also at the Highland Wildlife Park, I did get hissed at by a baby Scottish wildcat. It was really cute. Do you find it sad that you can't stroke a reindeer? Would you like to? Reindeer with a view. Yeah, sick. That looks wicked. Hey, mate. Look at this guy's antlers. They look wicked, don't they? So you might be able to see it, this bit here. It's got the velvet still on, and basically that's full of like blood and arteries and all that stuff. Like, they can feel it, and as it gets to this time of the year after the rutting season, they don't need their antlers anymore, so the velvet will wear off, but they can feel it, so they'll usually scratch it against things as well. So they'll eventually scratch it off until you get something like this, which is just pure bone, and then towards the end of the year the antlers will actually fall off, and then about March time the antlers will start to grow back once again. And one of the reindeer herders up here was saying they've noticed in 1 week the antlers can grow about 3 inches. That is mad. Did you enjoy that?
I love them so much, they're so soft.
They're nice. They're nice. Right, so that might be quite noisy behind me. It's beautiful though, isn't it? And we finished the reindeer thing now, so no more reindeers in this video, which is a real shame, but I'll tell you about the last animal on this list, and that is going to be the Scottish crossbill. Now, the Scottish crossbill on this list is probably the only truly endemic species in this country. You will not find this anywhere else in the world, and it's not a subspecies. This is its own thing, part of the finch family. As for its looks, it's proper cool, but interestingly there's also another couple of birds that look very similar, and they're in the same sort of area, which is where I am right now, the Cairngorms National Park. You can find them in the Caledonian forests, which is basically all of this stuff as well, but the Scottish crossbill would love to be in the tops of trees, not these ones, but mainly big pine trees like those ones over there. So they're quite hard to spot. Not only will you only find the Scottish crossbill only in the UK, you will also only find it in Scotland in these pine forests. It is nowhere else in the world. Now, it took a while for this species to actually be classed as its own unique species. In 1980s, the British Ornithology actually said, do you know what? This bird is its own unique thing, but there was a lot of opposition for it. Fast forward that to 2006, and it was confirmed that the Scottish crossbill is in fact its own unique bird. Now the differences being between the red crossbill, the parrot crossbill and the Scottish crossbill are very, very subtle. But the key thing to identify in a Scottish crossbill is their song. It's got a different song to the others, and that's really the only way you can tell it's different. So if you're out and about and you see one in the trees, you will never be sure if it's a Scottish or a parrot or a red unless you hear it. Now on this trip around the lovely Cairngorms, currently on Utsy's Bridge, I've not been lucky enough to see a Scottish crossbill, or any crossbill for that matter. No reds, no parrots, but I'm hopeful by the time my Scottish trip is done that I have seen one. But anyway, that is going to be this 3 animal list of animals that you can only see in the UK and you will not see anywhere else. Let me know what you thought about this list. Did you enjoy it? If you did, make sure you smash a like on this video. Also, drop a comment in the comment section down below. Have you seen these endemic species to the UK? Also, while you're here, go check out the website, get yourself an animal anomalies calendar. I'm going to leave you though. This has been beautiful. Hope you enjoyed the reindeer. I've been Cookie. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.